you know, there's a time in your life when you come to realise that you can't do everything that you used to do. And I've kind of reached that stage in my life. Mind you, I am almost 71. I'm 71 in September. And it's coming up to the end of June now, so I've only got July, August, and halfway through September. 2.5 months and I'm 71. Now, I used to think when I was a kid that I was invincible. I was bulletproof, you know, when I was like 12, 13, 14. Nothing ever bothered me, nothing scared me. You know, if somebody climbed a tree, I had to climb higher. If somebody were on the bike going fast, I had to go faster. If somebody was being daft, I had to be dafter. I was just your typical idiot, I suppose. You know, because I never seemed to get hurt. I never seemed to have fear of anything. And that's just what it's like when you're young. And as life went on, I mean, I went in the army when I was 15 as a boy. And then once I got into regular service, I started realising that some of my friends weren't with us anymore. They were getting killed on motorbikes and doing other stupid things that I'd been doing myself. It didn't stop me because that happened to them, and it had, you know, that had never happened to me. And it hasn't. And my parents always said, if you make 25, you'll be lucky. And I suppose I'm lucky. Here I am, nearly 71. But as life goes on, you kind of realise that it ain't what you thought it was when you were younger, and you think you've got your whole life in front of you. You know, life will never end. You know, being 50-year-old is ancient, and now when I get to this age, I think to myself, bloody hell, I wish I were 50 again. Not as much as I wish I was 20 again, but you start to realise that your life's changing. And yeah, I've had some problems over the years with my health. It started off with transverse myelitis. They originally diagnosed me with multiple sclerosis, and a few years after the initial attack, I started getting ill again, and they did not an ultrasound, one of them things where they put you in that tunnel, it makes a load of noise. Oh, fucking awful things. And that come back inconclusive, so they gave me a lumbar puncture, another lumbar puncture, and that came back clear. So they changed the diagnosis from MS to transverse myelitis. And it has affected me all my life, ever since I first came down with it. Then I started going deaf, only in one ear though. So I'm quite deaf in my left ear. My right ear's all right. So, you know, if I want a nice quiet night's sleep, I sleep on my right, so my ear's in the pillow. And then I started with glaucoma. Now, glaucoma took my pilot's license off me, because until I got glaucoma, I could pass all the medicals and everything, and the transverse myelitis had more or less gone. I mean, it did leave some effects, but I was having no symptoms as such. So getting my pilot's license wasn't a problem. I could pass all the medical, read all the charts. My ECG was fine. I used to have an ECG every year, you know, and all that malarkey, and I was absolutely brilliant. In fact, at the age of 55, I was still running 10k in an hour. Now, and I was still a competitive judo player. But I don't know, for the last Well, it probably started in January this year. I got a very, very bad chest infection, and you know, they had the ambulance out and took me to a hospital, and they gave me a load of antibiotics and stuff like that, which started to clear me out a bit. About 4 or 5 days after I come off the antibiotics, I started going downhill again. So they gave me some more antibiotics. 4 times that happened. And then they decided to send me for a blood test. So I went for the blood test, and they come back saying there were these enzymes in my blood which might show that I'm having heart failure. So they did another few tests. They did an ultrasound on my heart and an ECG and everything, and they come back with the conclusion that I'd got heart failure. And it wasn't just a mild case of heart failure, but quite a severe case of heart failure. They're telling me that 3 out of 4 of the valves in my heart are damaged. Now, how did that affect me mentally? Well, to be honest, you know, I've come to realise that 1 minute I'm going to be here, and there's a chance that the next minute I'm not. And in fact, I was just talking about this to somebody the other day. You know, I might be stood talking to somebody, and 2 minutes later I might be laid on the floor dead. But if that happens, all my worries and my problems are over. The only thing I've got to worry about, well, I won't have anything to worry about, but the only thing I do worry about is my wife, the kids and the grandkids. But yeah, it's the heart failure now that's got everybody worried about me. My blood pressure's fine, and everything else. And when I was first diagnosed, just walking upstairs to the toilet nearly bloody killed me. I'd go upstairs to the toilet and have to have 5 minutes rest, do what I needed to do, and then walk back down and have another 5 minutes rest when I got back down. But I'm a lot better than that now. I'm not saying I can sprint upstairs. I don't think I could sprint upstairs before the before the chest infection. But I am feeling a lot better. I can go upstairs to the toilet and come back down, and I'm fine. And on average, I'm doing between 3,000 and 4,000 steps a day. So I am getting out, walking and everything. And what I want to do is I just want to say to people that, you know, your health is incredibly important. We all think that money is important and all the rest, and to a certain degree it is, but it's nowhere near as important as your health. I'd give my money to have perfect health. Not that I've got a lot of money, mind you, right? But yeah, I'd place my health above anything else at the moment. But you've got to realise that as you start getting older, your health's going to start going downhill. And I also realise that I am in a lot better position than a lot of people that are my age. Like I say, we have a school reunion thing, usually once a year, and every year there's less and less of us there. There's less and less of us there. So yeah, I suppose I'm quite lucky. I think the family, the kids and the missus and everything, are more worried about me than I'm worried about me. Like I say, because I know that when I do eventually kick the bucket, my worries are over and done with. Anyway, what we're going to do on this channel is we're going to discuss getting older and some of the things that I used to love doing and I can't do anymore, and some of the things that I love doing now that I didn't do before, if you know what I mean. So that's the way we're going to go with the channel. We're going to talk about getting older, what it's like getting older. I have to admit that getting older is better than the alternative. Well, I say that. I don't know what the alternative's like. I think it's just I think it's perhaps a bit like before I was born, you know. I know nothing. But yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about getting older and what I'm doing to keep myself fit and the brain active and everything else. And, you know, if anybody's got any questions or wants any advice from me, now obviously I'm not a doctor or anything, I can only give my opinion, but I'm quite willing to talk to people and answer questions and things like that. Right, anyway, I am going to bugger off. England's playing tonight, so I'm not going to watch that. So, I'm not into football. I'll find something else to watch on Netflix or something. Mrs. PJ might want to watch the football, but I definitely don't. Anyway, if you're interested in following me, just tick that little subscription box below. And if you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Please share, please subscribe, and guess what? I will see you in the next one. Bye, everybody. I will see you soon, hopefully.